Ya.
Ok. Y no te preocupes porque igual también se puede editar, eso se edita. Entonces, bueno, lo primero es que nos digas that the first is that you tell us your name,
Yeah.
where you come from, your age, basically.
Alright. I name my full name because the Australian people have struggling with our full names, as Latin is Rodrigo Ignacio Flandes Andau. We use both land names.
Okay.
What was the second one? Sorry. My nationality. I'm Chilean, and my age is 35. I'm not 35. Sorry, 33 years old.
33 years old. Could you tell us about what was your motivation to participate in this project?
Well, I think that there is a lot of, how can we say it, a lot of stereotypes about both the gay people and the Latin people. As gay people, for example, the stereotype is mandatory that you use pink colors or whatever, or pop music, and as Latin people, they put you in certain ethnics, considering that Latin America in general is very diverse. They put you in a certain background, for example, as tropical country or something. In the case of my country, for example, we are from the part of South America that is called Cono Sur, the South Cone or something like that. And we are not more close to the Caribbean, so as you can see, we are not in some kind very culturally related to the Caribbean, that is the more expected or the most widespread image about the Latin people. The motivation that being said, my motivation is to show that Latin America, you can make a generalization, of course, to approach to a program, as always, to a problem, I mean. But there is a very big and wide diversity between in that general idea, you know. And still we are, how can I say it, we are unified by certain elements such as the language or some cultural background that we can say that is a mix between the European, especially, specifically I mean the Spanish people, and the widespread Aboriginal communities across the continent.
Why did you choose Australia as a destination?
Well, to be honest, when I arrived here, I mean, I was looking for going out from Chile. And I chose Australia at first because my way to go out from Chile was firstly the working holiday visa, which in Australia is up to the 30s. So I was already in my 30s, and I started with that. If the thing is not going well in Australia, I thought maybe I can go to Canada because it's up to 35, the same as New Zealand. But that was my initial motivation to choose Australia, I mean. But right now that I have achieved some goals in here, I'm planning now to settle down in here. But yeah, that was initially my first reason to migrate here in Australia in particular. Well, the other things that a lot of people have known about Australia, about the culture, about the multiculturalism that they have, apparently, at least at the surface. Yeah, pretty much is about that this country, it was built by migrants in general, not just European migrants, I mean Asians, Latin American people, Africa, and such other places.
Tell us a little bit about your hopes and dreams. What are your aspirations and expectations in Australia? Have they changed since you came?
Well, in general terms, I think they are the same as the ones that I had before coming here. Part of my hopes and dreams, I will say, in here is keep developing my career because I'm architect. I will have more facilitations, or I don't know if that's a certain word that you will say, for apply to postgraduate programs, for example, things like that. Well, probably the most that you could say naive thing is find a partner, to settle down, someone that makes you feel love or something. I must confess that I am a bit hopeless about that topic, but well, you never know. The life is very dynamic and you never know what will happen in the future, but that's part of my expectation, among other dreams that I have considered. For example, write a book or stuff like that. Yeah, those will be mainly my goals here in Australia now that I'm settled down. But probably the one that it will be most important at the moment is getting the permanent resident and be safe in here, basically.
Let's talk about adversities and challenges. So, what have the challenges that you have overcome to be who you are, to be here in Australia, to mainly to be who you are?
Well, the first thing that I can think about is the language, because you can know English, but speak it is a different story, especially when you are migrating to a country that speaks English. I still think that I'm not very good speaking English, even the Aussie people say that I'm not so bad at speaking it. But still it limitates me a bit. You can say that at the beginning, especially when you are looking for works, is a very big struggle, you know, especially because sometimes you cannot understand what task they are giving to you, so the people get a bit pissed off. And well, it will be in every place like that, I assume, but even that is a bit, how can you say it? It's a bit hurting at some points, because you feel less person or less capable among others. And the other thing that I have been struggling with is that back from home, since I was a teenager, I was diagnosed as depressive. So it's a very big deal to coming here on my own, alone, having this condition, you know. And I think that's my main struggling thing, that I cannot say that I can how do you say, superar?
To achieve?
Yeah, I cannot say that I have achieved it completely, but I still am working on it. I mean, you cannot leave this thing given unto you. You still have to live, you know, you still have to move on, no matter what happened, no matter if you have any problem, the life is not stopping to wait for you. So, yeah, I think the particular thing here in Australia was the language barrier, but in general, in life, it will be this feeling about feeling depressed and all the thing that is with that feeling, you know, having a bit of less self-esteem and struggling with what the people can think about you, if you're capable, if you're not, and that kind of things.
Now, tell us about what do you want people to take from your picture? What do you want people to take home when they see your picture, when they learn about you, and then also if you could tell us 3 works, and then also in here you could tell us anything that maybe we haven't addressed in these questions, perhaps situation of your country or something else.
Yeah, well, I could say that a lot of people today access to the social media is a bit aware that in Chile is happening something that is terrible and something that the authorities don't want to see. And about that, sometimes I feel a bit hope, sometimes I feel a bit scared of what will happen in the future. But I try to keep myself to the hope that the things can be better for the people, not just in Chile, but in all Latin America, because all of the region is in crisis at the moment. And well, that's the only thing that I could say about my country, that I think that maybe is not included on the schedule, but still I wanted to say it, because as much as we can spread this information, is the better. The better the authorities overseas or another countries can take this information. And about what the people can take about my pictures is knowing that the LGBT community is diverse in the absolutely term of the word, you know. It's not just diversity to a certain stereotype. There is people that have tattoos that look rude or manly or macho or whoever you want to say, and there is people that is feminine or whatever, and that's good, you know. Recognize that there is a lot of diversity. The gay people is not just gay people, they are people, they are professionals, they are workers, they have hobbies, they have other feelings, and a lot of stuff. I would like that the people take from my pictures that they consider the seriously of the word diversity as an absolutely, not just focus it on a certain stereotype, you know. And the three words that you asked me before, I will say struggling, perseverance, and hope.
Could we repeat those ones, but just looking at the camera?
Struggling, perseverance, and hope.